The holiday season can be the happiest time of the year, but it can also be a stressful time. Dr. Shoba is here to tell us why and how to put your heart health first. Dr. Shoba, as always, it's so good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yes. So today we're talking about shortness of breath. Shortness of breath is something that a lot of people hear a lot. It's a term that's very popular, but what exactly does it mean?
I think different people describe shortness of breath in different ways. Some people say they get winded very easily. They are more aware of their breathing. They get out of breath doing smaller amounts of activities. Those are the most common ways in people in which they describe shortness of breath.
Right. And so people that maybe should be concerned about shortness of breath, what are some of the signs that maybe it turns from, you know, oh, I just worked out or I just did an activity, but this is maybe something I need to be a little bit more concerned about? Correct.
And shortness of breath can gradually build up on you, so you are not more aware, but your spouse may be more aware. Hey, you're breathing harder, you know, to do the same level of activity. You're going to the mailbox, now it's taking you longer to do it, and you're feeling that you're taking more deep breaths. Or you're maybe going out Halloween trick-or-treating with your kid and you're not able to keep up, which you were able to do a year or two ago.
Right.
So, and you also look for additional signs associated with it. Are you having any palpitations, any dizziness, any swelling on the legs? Are you having any associated symptoms with the shortness of breath? All these kind of trigger. And is it suddenly something that happened very acutely? You know, like you had a big blood clot go up into your lungs, or you're having a major heart attack. You know, is it something that hit you very suddenly, or is it gradually building up on you? Are you more short of breath when you lay down as opposed to when you're sitting up? You know, simple things that make you start thinking something's not quite right.
Right, very interesting. And so what are some of the causes of shortness of breath?
There are a lot of different causes for shortness of breath. You know, most people attribute it, oh, I'm just growing older, or I'm just more deconditioned, oh, I've put on a lot of weight. And you know, there's a lot of truth to that, because when you do get older, when you do put on a lot of weight, you are at high risk for getting high blood pressure, diabetes, and these are actually some of the most common causes of shortness of breath. When you try to walk, your blood pressure goes up, or your blood sugars are going up and down, you're going to be more winded. But then there are slightly more serious causes as well. Allergies, and we talked about allergies earlier. Allergies are a very common cause of shortness of breath, and if you have exercise-induced asthma, you know, that is not picked up. You're short of breath when you exercise. You do all the tests and they're completely normal. There are lung causes. You know, you could have infections. You know, the way the cold weather coming up, you want to be sure that you're not having pneumonia or something like that. Of course, a common cause in our area is COPD. Smoking is a very, very common cause of shortness of breath. But also think in, you know, ladies and even men, you know, you could have anemia, thyroid trouble as a common cause of shortness of breath, which is fairly often missed, and it's just a simple blood test that tells you, oh my, this is what's causing shortness of breath.
Right. And so when people start to feel that shortness of breath, like you said, maybe their spouse is the one that's noticing a little bit more than the actual person, when should be kind of the alarm that goes off in their head that says, okay, maybe I really do need to go to the doctor and get this checked out?
Correct. I think being aware of your symptoms is more important. Paying attention, hey, something is wrong with me, and that is where we go wrong, because when you go to your doctor's office and you don't even realize to say that you're short of breath or you're out of breath, that's where the problems happen, because then the testing does not get done. Because shortness of breath could be a sign of a major ailment, like a blocked, you know, like a blood clot to the lung, like I said. It could be a sign of a blocked artery, valve problems, leaky heart valves, condition called atrial fibrillation, simple things like a chest x-ray or an EKG or blood work. Can actually find out some major problems that could be causing shortness of breath, some dangerous conditions.
Right, a simple test can really give you all the answers. Well, Dr. Shoba, thank you so much for coming here with all the answers. We always appreciate it. If you want to find out more about being heart healthy, all you have to do is go to heart.org or give them a call right there at the bottom of your screen. Thanks so much, Dr. Shoba.
Thank you.